The shot echoed like thunder across Alder Creek. I dropped my coffee and sprinted toward the pasture. My boots crushed frost. My heart pounded like a war drum. And then, there he was. My son's miniature horse. Lying still, his vest torn, blood soaking the grass. Taylor screamed, clinging to his neck. Taylor's eyes locked onto mine. 11 years old. Trembling. Dad, they shot him. They shot Dusty. Before we continue, please drop a like and comment below with your country and what time it is right now where you're watching. Whether it's sunrise in Australia, midnight in New York, afternoon in Canada, or evening in France, I want to know. Don't just sit back, tell me where in the world you are. Now, let's dive into the story. His therapy vest was still buckled around him, bright neon orange, impossible to miss. I felt cold steel surge into my chest. This wasn't a hunting accident. This was trespassing. This was murder. I looked around. No signs of deer. No hunter in sight. But the gate was wide open. The lock cut clean. Tracks, fresh tire treads, rolled across my private land. My ranch is locked down tighter than a bank vault. Nobody gets in unless they have keys. Or unless they're handed keys. That's when I saw her. Karen Talbot. Sitting smug in her HOA golf cart, parked by the tree line like some queen of entitlement. Heard a shot, she said, sipping her thermos like we were at a brunch picnic. Some hunters had permission this morning. Probably got spooked. These things happen. These things? I stormed up. You let hunters on my land? She didn't flinch. You lease from the HOA, Barrett. Shared boundaries. I thought you'd be okay with it. My teeth ground. That horse was therapy. For my son. That wasn't a deer, it was his best friend. Karen shrugged. Then sue me, I guess. The sheriff came. I told him everything, pointed to the busted gate, the tracks, the HOA cart. Karen played dumb. But she couldn't lie about the entry log. Her signature. Her timestamp. Still, she smirked like she knew the law would protect her. But I buried Dusty that afternoon and buried my fear. Taylor laid Dusty's blue ribbon by the grave. He won that last week, he whispered, crying. He didn't even get to wear it today. I squeezed his shoulder. I wanted revenge. But not petty revenge. Not emotional. I needed to be precise. Cold. Tactical. Karen didn't know what she'd started. That night, I opened my late wife's safe. Inside, her old camera. It had video proof from our fence-mounted trail cams. If those hunters came through our land, I'd have them on tape. And if Karen gave them access, I'd bury her presidency, her power, and everything she built, legally. I stayed up all night combing through the trail cam footage. The wind howled outside, but I was focused. At 5:17 a.m., 2 men in camos snuck through the gate. The timestamp proved it. They didn't come in through the HOA access road. They came through my fence. Unauthorized. Trespassing. They had scoped rifles, deer blinds, and gutting gear. But most damning? They had no tags. No visible permits. One even waved at the camera, unaware it was rolling. I saved the file to 3 hard drives. Then I called an old friend, Bran Collier. Former state wildlife officer turned private investigator. Bran arrived that afternoon. Gray beard, sharp eyes, quiet voice. I showed him the footage. He nodded slowly. That ain't just trespassing. That's illegal hunting on private land. Felony if the animal is domestic. His words stung. Dusty wasn't just domestic. He was family. Bran said, let's find those cowards. Meanwhile, Karen was holding an HOA board meeting in the community clubhouse. I showed up uninvited. Walked in during their croissant and fruit nonsense. All eyes turned. Karen's smile tightened. Barrett, this is private. I tossed a flash drive onto the table. That's video proof. Your hunters crossed my land. Not HOA grounds. Gasps filled the room. Vice President Marty raised his brows. Karen tried to pivot. Maybe they wandered accidentally. I cut her off. The footage shows them cutting through my padlocked fence. Your name is on the access log. That makes you liable. Karen blanched. Marty asked for a recess. Karen stormed out. Outside, Karen confronted me. You're making this bigger than it is. Her voice was shrill now, desperate. You don't understand how things work here, Barrett. I smiled. You're right. I don't understand entitled, unaccountable liars running roughshod over grieving children. Her jaw tightened. This isn't over. I said, Ugh. It's just starting. Back home, Bran had results. He traced the truck plates to a hunting club from Shady Flats, 2 counties over. Paid access only, he said. Some HOAs sell under-the-table day passes to raise funds. Illegal as hell. My stomach dropped. Was Karen turning my ranch into a game park behind my back? Taylor came into the kitchen. Dad, are the hunters in jail? I knelt, looked him in the eyes. Not yet, son. But they will be. He nodded. Dusty was brave. He wouldn't want us to stop. That night I swore I wouldn't. Karen wanted war. I'd give her legal destruction. I called my attorney the next morning, Loretta Beck. She specialized in property disputes and HOA abuse. When I told her everything, she didn't hesitate. We'll sue the HOA for breach of easement, unlawful trespassing, and damages to an emotional support animal. And we'll make it public. Let's blow this wide open. Loretta moved fast. By noon, she served the HOA a cease and desist. No access to my land. No board meetings about my property. No new gate codes. Karen received the letter during brunch at the Ridge Bistro and threw a full-blown tantrum, flipping her mimosa glass across the table. Pathetic spectacle. Bran dug deeper. The Shady Flats hunters had receipts, literal ones. Digital bank statements showed a $400 ranch access fee paid via Venmo to a username, Karen the Queen 1972. That was enough for a subpoena. Loretta smiled when she saw it. She's not just unethical. She's dumb. Let's move. And move we did. Karen tried to bluff. She showed up at my fence with 2 deputies, claiming community easement rights. I stood my ground, handed them both a copy of the property survey. This is my land. I pay taxes on every square inch. They checked the map. Karen turned red. The deputies left. But Karen wasn't done. That night, our power flickered. Cameras went offline. Someone had snipped the exterior wiring. Taylor woke up screaming, nightmare about Dusty. I ran outside with a flashlight. Found boot prints. Size 11. Same as the hunter in the trail cam footage. They weren't just trespassers now. They were escalating. I reinstalled hardwired lights and added battery backups. Called Bran again. They're trying to scare you, he said. Means they're losing. Fear is their last card. Still, I bought a shotgun the next morning and made sure Taylor knew where the panic button was. I wouldn't let fear take root here. Meanwhile, Loretta filed our lawsuit in district court, Talbot versus Beckett Ranch Holdings. HOA liability. Intentional infliction of emotional distress. Unauthorized commercial use of private land. It hit like lightning. The local paper ran the headline, HOA scandal erupts after therapy animal killing. Karen's picture next to a crime scene graphic. Karen tried damage control. She held a community healing circle in the clubhouse. But half the chairs were empty. Anyway, the video footage was out. Loretta had leaked it to local news. My neighbors saw Dusty fall. They saw my son cry. And they saw Karen's name on the log. Then came the message. A manila envelope slipped under our door. Inside, printed screenshots of Taylor's old school photos. A message scribbled in marker, drop the lawsuit or your boy gets hunted next. My knees buckled. I rushed to lock the doors. Called Loretta. Called Bran. Called the sheriff. Karen had friends. The sheriff took the threat seriously. You're being targeted, he said. Karen may have triggered this, but it's bigger now. Organized. Profitable. I didn't sleep that night. I sat by Taylor's door with the shotgun on my lap. My son didn't deserve this. Karen didn't just cross a line, she detonated it. The sheriff called 2 days later. They'd identified the men from the trail cams, Jed Kellum and Royce Danner. Both had priors, trespassing, illegal game trapping, assault. One had even shot a farmer's goat last fall. No jail time. Just fines. Repeat offenders, backed by wealthy sportsmen who paid for access. Loretta filed a motion to freeze Karen's personal accounts. If she profited from the illegal hunting, that money was evidence. The judge approved it. Karen's Lexus was repossessed within the hour. I watched from my porch as the tow truck dragged it down Alder Ridge Lane. She screamed the whole way. That night, Taylor and I planted daisies around Dusty's grave. "Why would grown-ups hurt animals?" he asked. I swallowed hard. Some people stop seeing life. They only see what they can take. He nodded quietly. Dusty always listened. He knew when I was sad. I said nothing. I felt broken inside. Brand followed the money trail. Venmo, Cash Apps, texts. Turns out Karen had turned Alder Ridge into a quiet, trophy corridor. 37 hunters had come through since last spring, none registered with the HOA, all paying her directly. She'd even created digital maps showing which gates to cut through. It was organized crime. Karen got served a second time, this one from the county prosecutor. Charges: illegal wildlife trafficking, wire fraud, and conspiracy to endanger minors. That last charge? Because Dusty was a therapy-certified animal registered to a grieving child. That made it personal to the D. Karen's mugshot hit the news. No smile this time. But the danger wasn't over. That night, a rock shattered our living room window. Taylor dove behind the couch. I chased shadows with a flashlight, shotgun drawn. Bran arrived 10 minutes later, gun on his hip. "They're desperate," he growled. "They know it's falling apart." I said, "Let's finish what they started." We went public. Loretta arranged an interview with Channel 7 News. I told everything: Dusty's death, the threats, the corrupt HOA deals. Taylor sat beside me, silent but strong. The footage aired during primetime. Calls poured in. Former residents, whistleblowers, even ex-board members. Karen's empire had more cracks than we knew. One woman, Constance Boone, gave us the key. Karen's been selling access through a fake LLC, Ridgefield Wilderness Tours. She gave us emails, bank logs, even a signed hunting map. The paper trail burned like wildfire. Loretta called it the smoking cannon. Not a gun. This was bigger. This could take the whole HOA down. Still, I stayed up every night on watch. Taylor slept with a flashlight and Dusty's old halter under his pillow. We had alarms, cameras, patrols. But my peace wasn't coming from security. It was coming from purpose. Karen thought she owned this land, this neighborhood, this town. She forgot. I fight for mine. The HOA called for an emergency town hall. I arrived early. Bran flanked me, hand on hip. Taylor stayed home with Loretta's assistant. Inside the hall, chairs were filled. Neighbors who never showed up before. Faces I hadn't seen in years. They weren't here for snacks. They were here for blood. Karen walked in late, wearing oversized sunglasses like a fallen celebrity. Her lawyer trailed behind, young, nervous, carrying a briefcase that screamed, "Damage control." The microphone buzzed. HOA Vice President Marty cleared his throat. "We've received allegations. Serious ones." Karen cut him off. "None of this has been proven in court yet." I stood. Bran handed me a file. "Then let's start proving." I opened it. Attached are 37 hunting permits paid directly to Karen Talbot via Ridgefield Wilderness Tours, a fake LLC. Here are the hunters. Here's my trail cam. And here's Dusty, my son's therapy horse, shot through the heart. Gasps spread like wildfire. Marty asked Karen to respond. She refused. Her lawyer did. These documents could be fabricated. We deny all accusations. I countered with a notarized confession, Constance Boone's sworn affidavit. Karen authorized access. She created maps. She profited. Karen snatched the mic. It was for HO fundraising. That silence afterward? It was cold. Then a man stood up. Frank DeSoto, Vietnam vet. Lived near the creek. My dog was shot last July. I thought it was coyotes. Now I know. Another stood, May Lynn, 80 years old. I heard gunshots near my garden. I called Karen. She said it was fireworks. She lied. The room turned. Marty stepped back. I move for a vote of removal. Hands shot up. One by one. Even Karen's old allies. 57 hands raised. 2 abstained. 0 in her favor. Just like that, she was out. Her lawyer packed his case. Karen screamed, "This is slander." But nobody looked back. Her reign ended in shame. After the meeting, a reporter approached me. "What's next?" I looked around, neighbors shaking my hand, kids hugging Taylor. We rebuild. We protect our land. And we never let power blind us again. Bran leaned in. "That was just the beginning, Barrett. You know she won't go quietly." I nodded. "She'll try." Sure enough, 2 days later, I found a dead rabbit nailed to my fence. Taylor saw it too. His face went pale. "They're still mad." I said, "It means we're winning." I took it down, burned it in the pit, then checked my cameras. A figure in camo, face blurred. Same boots. Same threat. Loretta pushed the DA for faster charges. "She's trying to intimidate witnesses," she said. "That's obstruction. We'll add it." Karen was spiraling. But I knew something she didn't. I had more than trail cam footage. I had audio. Bran had bugged her clubhouse office last month. And what we heard was gold. Bran handed me a flash drive. Pulled from the bug in Karen's office. Audio's clean. Date stamped. She didn't know the mic under her desk leg was live. I plugged it into my laptop, hands trembling. Taylor played with Dusty's halter in the corner. Bran hit play. And then we heard her. Karen's voice crackled through the speakers. "If the Becketts press charges, we scare them off. The Hunters know how to rattle people. Barrett's a stubborn hick, but he'll fold if his boy cries hard enough." I felt ice crawl up my spine. Taylor looked over. "Was that her?" I nodded. Jaw clenched. She kept going. "I made over 12 grand this quarter. Those idiots think we're hiking guides. The HOA's too dumb to check." A man's voice replied, "What about the kid's horse?" Karen scoffed. "It's a damn pony. Maybe now he'll shut up about his dead wife too." Bran slammed the laptop shut. I sat still, breathing fire. Bran whispered, "That's conspiracy. That's abuse. That's motive." I called Loretta. "We have it," I said. She arrived within the hour. Played the tape twice. She never blinked. "This guarantees conviction. We'll deliver it directly to the prosecutor's desk. And when we do, Karen's world burns." The next morning, we walked into the county courthouse like gunslingers. Loretta held the flash drive like a sword. The DA's face hardened as he listened. "This changes everything," he said. "We'll add tampering, malicious intent, and intimidation." I asked how long it'd take. He said, "Judge reviews tonight. Warrant by dawn." But Karen must have felt the heat. That night, Taylor and I returned home to find our barn door wide open. Dusty's grave had been dug up. Not deep, but enough to show the coffin lid. Taylor fell to his knees. "Dad, why would they do this?" I didn't have words. Just rage. Bran traced fresh boot prints again. Same boots. We checked the camera. What? Someone knew how to kill footage without cutting power. "We're dealing with more than Karen now," Bran muttered. "She's got help. People with experience." I said, "Then it's time I bring in someone who knows how to finish this." I called an old army buddy, Sawyer Creek. Surveillance tech expert. Quiet. Deadly smart. He arrived by sunrise. Installed a motion-triggered drone. Seismic sensors by the grave. A magnetic lock on the barn. "You'll see every inch of this place in real time," he said. "They touch it again, we'll know who and when." Taylor helped me rebury Dusty. We placed a solar lantern near the marker. "He's not alone," Taylor whispered. I put my arm around him. "Neither are we." That night, the drone picked up a figure. Same jacket. Same boots. But this time, the camera caught their face. And it wasn't Karen. The drone footage was clear. Too clear. The man walking past Dusty's grave wore the same camo jacket, same boots, but his face? Familiar. Bran paused the footage, zoomed in. My throat went dry. "That's Jet Calloway," I whispered. "He was my brother-in-law. He worked for Karen 2 years ago." Bran cursed. Jet had a record: arson, intimidation, assault. Fired from the HOA's maintenance team after threatening a board member. Karen had vouched for him once. Just misunderstood, she'd said. Now he was the ghost leaving threats at my door. I called Loretta. We're expanding the charges. Add stalking. Add criminal trespass. Add him. Taylor sat at the table listening. He didn't flinch. Is that the man who hurt Dusty? I didn't lie. He was involved. Taylor looked out the window. I hope he has nightmares. That night, I prayed for protection. Not for myself, but for Taylor. For his innocence. For what little peace remained. Bran and Sawyer set up a sting. Decoy trail cam. Open gate. A fake map left accidentally at the fence post. Hours passed. At 2:13 a.m., motion sensors triggered. A figure stepped into the field. Drone above. Floodlights activated. And there he was, holding bolt cutters. Wearing gloves. Caught red-handed. We confronted him before the sheriff arrived. Why Jet? I asked. He smirked. Karen said you were ruining everything. Said your kid was a brat. That you needed a scare. Bran restrained him as deputies cuffed him. His last words before the car door shut? She paid me cash. Lots of it. With Jet in custody, the case turned fast. His confession opened everything. Bank deposits. Text messages. Photos of target maps. He'd been tracking our family for weeks. Karen had promised him a cut of every hunter's fee. You take care of the noise, she'd written. I'll handle the politics. Loretta filed an injunction barring Karen from contacting anyone in Alder Ridge. A gag order followed. Her assets were frozen, her accounts audited. HOA members resigned. News trucks camped on her lawn. And me? I stood on my porch, holding Taylor close. The worst is behind us, I whispered. Out. But Karen wasn't done. The next morning, we received a certified letter. Inside, Karen's handwritten statement. You've destroyed my life. You and your bastard son. You'll regret this. This town was mine. No apology. Just venom. Loretta sent it to the prosecutor. That's tampering with a witness. We'll nail her to the wall. That night, Taylor placed Dusty's photo on our mantel. He's not really gone, he said. He's watching. I nodded. And we're making it right. For him. For every family Karen hurt. But deep down, I knew this had to end publicly. But, on record, in front of everyone she once ruled. The courtroom was packed. Folding chairs filled every aisle. News cameras rolled. Karen entered in handcuffs, her hair flat, eyes hollow. No designer scarf, no HA badge, just a beige jumpsuit and the stench of defeat. Taylor sat beside me, clutching Dusty's halter. Is she going to jail? He whispered. I nodded. The judge reviewed the charges aloud. Karen Talbot. Unlawful trespass. Conspiracy to commit wildlife crimes. Endangerment of a minor. Witness intimidation. She stared blankly. When asked for a plea, she whispered, not guilty. The room gasped. I didn't flinch. Loretta leaned over. We're ready. Her paper trail bleeds guilt. First witness, Bran. Calm, direct. He walked through the footage, the maps, the payment logs. The jury scribbled notes. Next came Constance Boone, visibly shaken. She told me to look the other way. That money came from blood, she said, voice cracking. Karen's lawyer didn't object. He looked like a man drowning. Then I took the stand. I described Dusty. His training, his ribbons, the joy he brought Taylor after his mother passed. I described the morning of the shot, Taylor's scream, the broken gate. And I played the audio. Karen's words echoed, it's a damn pony. Maybe now he'll shut up. Gasps again. Karen's face turned red. She tried to yell, but her lawyer grabbed her arm. Do not speak, he whispered. The judge warned her. One more outburst and you'll be removed. Karen sat still, grinding her teeth. But I saw it in her eyes, fear. Her kingdom of lies had finally collapsed. Outside, news crews asked for comment. I said one thing. This isn't about land. It's about respect, for life, for children, for boundaries. Taylor stood behind me, holding a sign, "Dusty mattered." That photo went viral overnight. Comments flooded in, people sharing stories of lost pets, corrupted HOAs, and small-town injustice. But Karen still had one card left. The next day, her attorney filed for a plea bargain, 3 years probation, no jail. Loretta laughed out loud in court. "Your Honor, she tampered with a grave, hired a stalker, and orchestrated criminal trespassing. She doesn't deserve probation, she deserves prison." The judge nodded slowly. "We'll resume sentencing after deliberation," the judge said. "But I'll say this now, I've never seen a clearer abuse of power, nor a colder disregard for human decency. This community deserves closure. This child deserves peace." I squeezed Taylor's hand. We were close. The end was in sight. But not over. That night Bran and I sat on the porch. "She'll try something," he said. "Last-ditch effort." I nodded. "We'll be ready." Our cameras were armed. Our land, sealed. Dusty's grave now had solar security lighting. Taylor slept peacefully. And me? I was done being polite. It was time for the final blow. At 3:42 a.m., alarms screamed through the house. Motion sensors lit up the barnyard. I grabbed my shotgun and ran barefoot through the dew-soaked grass. Sawyer's drone hovered overhead. The screen inside showed a figure near Dusty's grave, gas can in hand. Taylor stood behind me, frozen. "Is it her?" he asked. "To us. Karen." No disguise. No subtlety. Just raw, unraveling madness. Her hair wild, eyes bloodshot. "You ruined me," she screamed into the sky. "You took everything." She struck a match. I raised the shotgun. "Drop it, Karen." She lit the first patch of grass. Flames rose. So did my fury. Bran tackled her before the fire could spread. Sawyer stomped the flames out. Karen thrashed on the ground like a rabid animal. "I had power," she shrieked. "This was my community." Taylor cried behind me. The sheriff arrived within minutes. Karen was cuffed again, this time with ash on her hands. Back inside, Taylor clung to me. She tried to burn Dusty. I wrapped him in a blanket. "She'll never get another chance." The sheriff confirmed it. Arson. Violating restraining order. Endangering a child. She's finished. Karen was taken straight to county jail. No bail. No press this time. Just silence. The next morning, Loretta filed emergency motions. "Let's bury her legally," she said. Court reconvened within 48 hours. Judge Middleton looked furious. "This is beyond negligence. Ms. Talbot poses a threat to this family and this town. I hereby sentence her to 25 years, maximum security." A gasp. Then applause. Karen didn't speak. Taylor stood tall. "She can't hurt anyone now." I knelt beside him. "No, son. You're safe. And Dusty's safe too." Outside, people cheered. Neighbors once silent now brought flowers to the fence line. Some cried. Others just nodded. Our ranch had become more than a boundary. It was a symbol. Karen's properties were seized. The HOA dissolved. A new community group formed, led by Marty and Constance. Transparency. Honesty. They asked if I'd join. I declined. My fight was for my son, not for office. But I offered them all of Bran and Loretta's legal documents to prevent another Karen from ever rising. Bran, Sawyer, and I held a small ceremony that evening. We placed a stone marker over Dusty's grave. "Beloved companion. Protector of joy. Taken too soon." Taylor added a drawing. "He's galloping in the sky," he said. "No one can reach him now." I swallowed hard. "You're right. He's finally free." The drone still flew at night. Not from fear anymore, but from habit. Taylor liked watching the lights blink over the pasture. "Makes me feel like he's still out there," he whispered. I smiled. Maybe he is. Maybe he's guarding the peace he helped create. Karen tried to destroy us. Instead, she gave us purpose. Spring arrived early in Alder Ridge. Wildflowers bloomed near Dusty's grave. Taylor watered them daily. "He would have liked these," he said. Soft petals. Strong stems. I nodded. Just like him. The ranch was quiet now. No threats. No flashing lights. Just birdsong, warm breezes, and the sound of healing in motion. We got a letter from the mayor. Official apology. Public ceremony scheduled. Taylor would receive a bravery award. For standing strong against injustice, it read. He looked at me, confused. All I did was cry and tell the truth. I knelt. That's more courage than most adults have in their bones. I donated Karen's seized land to a local equine therapy center. Call it Dusty's Place, Taylor suggested. They loved it. The new director, Miss Alina, offered him a volunteer role. You'll help train other horses, ones that can help other kids. Taylor's face lit up. Like Dusty helped me? Exactly, she said. Loretta won the civil suit. $2.1 million in damages. Enough to rebuild our barns, secure the ranch, and fund the therapy program for years. I looked at the check and thought of my wife, her soft voice, her gentle strength. She always said, "The world hurts, Barrett. But we don't have to." Karen's sentence stood. No parole. No appeals. She'd vanished from the news, her name a whisper of shame. Bran retired and bought a fishing cabin nearby. Sawyer stayed on, managing tech for the new HO. We watch now, he said. We protect what matters. Taylor started calling them my uncles. One morning, Taylor ran inside. Dad, come quick. I followed him out. A small brown foal stood near Dusty's grave. No brand. No owner. Just staring at us. We approached slowly. Taylor held out his hand. The foal stepped forward and nuzzled him gently. He found us, Taylor whispered. Like magic. We checked the drone footage. No gate was opened. No fence breached. He just appeared. Taylor named him Hope. And in that moment I realized we hadn't just survived. We'd built something stronger than fences and lawsuits. We'd built a legacy. A place where innocence wouldn't be hunted ever again. Hope followed Taylor everywhere. He learned tricks fast. Nuzzled on command. Nodded to music. When Taylor laughed, he danced. He's not Dusty, he said, but he understands. I smiled. Sometimes healing doesn't replace the loss. It grows beside it. Taylor hugged the foal. We'll protect him. Just like Dusty protected me. The town changed too. Neighbors spoke more. Helped each other. No more fake rules. No more backdoor deals. Alder Ridge remembered what community really meant. And me? I kept walking the fence line every evening. One hand on the gate, the other on my heart. Not guarding fear, but honoring love. Because when Karen gave hunters access, she thought she was taking something from us. But what she took only sharpened what we still had, each other. A son. A memory. A future. And a field where forgiveness ran on 4 small hooves, leaving peace in every print behind him.